Several jobs are to be created in the coming months as the international fast food chain Burger King expands its operations in Barbados after reporting a successful first year. Chairman of Williams Industries Ralph Busy Williams says there are plans for additional outlets in Bridgetown and at Warrens. The Lower Broad Street branch is expected to be completed for Easter.
About 30 jobs per restaurant. Could be 35. Depends on the response of the crowd. And the Warrens branch, I would imagine late summer should be open. But we may move our mobile Burger King to Warrens, subject to approval, of course. We would need planning approval.
Burger King has thanked its customers by hosting a family fun day at its Sky Mall location today. Plans were also revealed today for the mega flagship Burger King outlet in Barbados.
I'm not prepared to state where they're going to be right now because we have had this discussion with our partners and we are not in agreement on where we will site it, but there are plans for a mega store, yes, which would be the flagship of the Burger King brand in Barbados.
In other news, the Canadian Farm Labour Program has been holding its own despite a fluctuation in the numbers requested to work in the North American country. This from Minister of Labour, Senator Dr. Esther Buyer-Suckoo. She says government has had some challenges to its efforts to expand the program in recent times.
The challenge was not only with us locally and our offices in Canada. The challenge has been with the farms and with that industry in Canada. Plus, because of a lot of, I don't know that they're climate change related issues, but because of a lot of those issues, when yields are not quite as good as expected, then it makes no sense for a farmer to send for 10 or 20 workers from here to pick apples if there's been a frost that's affected the apples, for example, and things like that have been happening.
Well, the Labour Minister was speaking to the press after a tour of the job fair hosted by the Canadian firm Diamond Global Recruitment Incorporation at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Centre. Areas of employment in Canada include restaurant, hospitality and food service, retail and construction. The minister assured Barbadian workers that government will ensure that they are not exploited, and she also reminded them that there are several benefits to working in Canada.
They offer a package. If you come and if you work and you stay above the law, you stay clean for 2 years, then at the end of that contract, you're also entitled to immigrant status in Canada. That for a lot of people is quite attractive. However, it does mean 2 years working in freezing cold. In the summer, Edmonton and Alberta is cold. In the winter, that would be much of an understatement. In fact, they would be glad to have it cold in Edmonton in the winter.
And in the face of the pending job cuts in the public sector, the hundreds of job seekers at the fair welcome the opportunity to work in Canada.
I feel it will be a good experience though, knowing to get out and also have a different work environment, meet new people.
Have a better work experience other than being in Barbados. You know what I mean? Better future, otherwise, or what's not.
I think it'll bring, advantages or benefits to people who've been currently laid off, bring that experience to the table for them.
It was very insightful. It sounds very interesting and looking forward, hoping that I would be successful in getting through to find employment in Canada. Really like a change, really and truly, and to get more experience in the business world and learn, something different.
Well, good luck to those prospects. After 300 years, Combermere School continues to boast a strong Old Scholars Association, one that is this year celebrating its 100th anniversary. Today, both past and present students gathered at the Calvary Moravian Church on Roebuck Street, Bridgetown, for a commemorative service to mark the milestone. Principal Vera Paris extended congratulations to the association, saying that 100 years is a magnificent achievement.
When that institution is a voluntary organization, as is the CSOSA, that achievement assumes mammoth proportions. The contributions of Combermere Old Scholars to Barbados and to the international community have been ongoing for some 300 years.
And the Reverend Adrian Smith of the Calvary Moravian Church, a former Congomarian, says the centennial anniversary comes at a time of crisis at home and abroad. He, however, believes Barbados can move up and on.
Can I suggest, firstly, beloved in Christ, that we must move up and on living with divine wisdom. We must move up and on living with divine wisdom. The psalmist cries out to God, Lord, teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts to wisdom.
Well, coming up, pedestrians cautioned about using the roads.
It's time again for the Community Dance Fest Grand Finals. Cheer on your favorite dance group at the Garfield Sober Sports Complex, Wilde St. Michael, on Tuesday, January 21st, Arrow Barrel Day at 5 p.m. Tickets are available at Emerald City Supermarket, 6 Road, St. Philip, CS Pharmacy, Broad Street, Bridgetown, Ticket Center, Supercenter Lawrence, St. Michael, Digicel, Sheridan Mall, Christchurch, Joe's Pharmacy, Oystons, Christchurch, and Pharmaco Limited, Church Street, St. Peter. The Community Dance Fest Grand Finals, Tuesday, January 21st at the Garfield Sobers Sports Complex, beginning at 5 p.m.
This Sunday.
Davis Bannerman. Davis, this is Jim Howland. Before you ask me how I am, I'm not well. Not only is my son dead,
but his accident is threatening to put us both in jail.
My people are on top of it.
Then disappeared. We thought he was dead. Gave him his star on the wall at Langley. Then 3 months ago, you ran as Prince. Brought him back from the dead.
We want to bring him back in before he kills anyone else.
Oh my God, it's a bomb!
Get down. Get down on the ground, Finch.
Person of Interest, 9:05 p.m. on TV8. This Tuesday.
We as parents need to teach the children right from wrong. We can't let them to themselves and expect that when they get older, their manners and discipline will drop out the sky. They got to be instilled from early.
Bajans aren't proactive. We are reactive. But we're only proactive to keep our skin clear of acne, but reactive when it's high and our wallets are clear of money.
NIFCA, Drama and Speech, 5:45 p.m. on TV8.
Well, a road safety advocate believes pedestrians need to be educated about the use of the island's roads. According to the public relations officer at the Barbados Road Safety Association, Richard Cox, motorists are not the only ones breaking road traffic laws. Pedestrians are also guilty. Mr. Cox told the CBC News in many instances pedestrians are simply not aware that they are committing illegal acts. He believes they should all have access to a copy of the Barbados Highway Code so as they know where they are going wrong.
I had people in the halls, the various halls, ask, Mr. Cox, where this book came from? How long we've never heard about it? Again, I ask you, is not a pedestrian a road user? How is the pedestrian is going to know what the motorist is going to do when the red light comes on, when the green light comes on, when the amber light? The pedestrian must know. So therefore, the education of pedestrians is a must.
Well, in news from the region in St. Kitts and Nevis, Premier Vance Amory has described as a black day for Nevisians the fire that destroyed most of the building housing the Treasury Office, the VAT Office and the Philatelic Bureau on Friday. The fire is the third mysterious blaze in the Twin Island Federation in recent weeks. Fire also destroyed the Venezuelan embassy and partially damaged the offices of the Organization of American States. In St. Kitts, the Premier has confirmed reports that some of the Treasury records were backed up, but he expects it'll take a couple of days before the departments can begin to operate.